Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out True Off My Chest. Story 1. Getting tired of my mom. I'm 16 years old and I am a junior in high school. Growing up, I never had a father figure, neither have I had my father there for me in my household. Due to this, I grew up with a single mother who basically used to grow up in different babysitters throughout the years while my mom worked 2 minimum wage jobs. For some reason, throughout this time I feel like my mom was a completely different person in a way. I obviously got all the attention because I was the only child, but then my little half-brother was born when I was about 10 years old. Not only was I upset that I was no longer the only child, but he ended up coming out with severe level 3 autism. From a young age, my mom would make me watch him for hours and I would be exhausted due to his hyperactivity at an extremely young age. He would get on top of tables and jump off over and over again, touch random things, make loud annoying noises, stimming, and it just annoyed me how the one time I actually got a sibling he came out with a disability. He's nonverbal. I love my brother, but what annoys me is that my mom acts like I have some responsibility over him just because we share the same mother. She continuously guilt trips me to take care of him while she goes out with her friends on Saturday nights, and even on days she is hungover and just wants to sleep in all day long. I don't mind helping her, it's just I have been taking care of her autistic child since I was 10 years old, a responsibility no child should have. I was 13 cleaning the feces he wiped all over the walls, himself, furniture while she was out with her friends having fun. I also feel really bad that almost everyone around me has siblings with no disability. I literally feel like I'm the only one who has this issue. She also calls me ungrateful when I don't want to take care of him, and would be like, remember I did all that for you, now you have to repay. Not only is being forced to take care of my severely autistic sibling annoying, but her thinking that she knows what's right for me in every situation. I am a 16-year-old male in high school and she doesn't even let me have a girlfriend, not even by the time I have prom, in which I will be 17 turning 18. She thinks she has full control of my life, and this has influenced me to just go straight to the military after high school. I don't want to go to the military just to get away from her, but I also genuinely have interest in its stepping stone benefit. She says that her reasoning for this is because relationships lead to sex, as if I'm not educated on using protection or just staying abstinent in the relationship for a certain period of time. Me and her at the same age are completely two different people. She made numerous dumb decisions such as dropping out of high school and dated a guy who was 8 years older than her while she was 15 years old. I keep trying to tell her that the dating scene nowadays has changed, and that she had a bad experience dating at 15 because she was literally groomed. Also, she says that she doesn't want me to get heartbroken, but so what if I do? It happens to almost everybody, and even if I wait until I am 18 it will still most likely inevitably happen. Not only that, but it builds character. Not only that, but she never put me in any sports and I never had a dad who put me in any at a young age. This has pretty much led to me not knowing my purpose, and while I was boxing and preparing for a competition I knew what my purpose was, but I haven't been able to train in about 2 months due to financial and transportation issues. Story 2. Need advice. I don't know what to do. I have severe depression. I'm in therapy and doing my best to get better. I live with my boyfriend. He never seems to have time for me during weekdays. We both work full-time. After he gets home he cooks, eats dinner, showers and stretch. Then spend the rest of the night watching TV. He watches what he likes only. We don't watch TV together. Then he spends 10 minutes cuddling with me. I have to set a timer for 10 minutes because after 5 minutes he would be like good night then sleep right away. He would just sleep when I'm laying next to him crying my heart out. I know it's not his responsibility to make me happy, but it seems like he doesn't care about me at all. If I was in his position I would stay up to make sure he's okay. He would get up at like 4 AM to watch live sports. So it's all about priorities, I guess. I still love him but I hate feeling this way. In the weekend he would spend 4 to 5 hours with me, but that includes driving time and half of the time he's on his phone and not paying any attention to me. Story 3. Update to mom getting married the weekend before me. Hi everyone. I just wanted to say thank you for all the well wishes. My wedding was truly the best day of my life. I had the best day ever, no thanks to anyone in my family. A lot happened, so I'll have to keep everything brief. I called my mom before her wedding and told her it was messed up she decided to get married a week before me. She had to have had this conversation with someone else or knew it was coming, because she immediately launched into "yeah I know, but it just kind of happened this way, it wasn't intentional." My friend's mother went to her wedding so she could report back to us. Apparently my mom complained about me the whole time, saying I was mad about nothing and told her she wasn't allowed to talk about her wedding. Which I did, but she had readily agreed to when we were on the phone, saying she wasn't trying to take any attention from me. My whole family missed the rehearsal, which would have been fine if they just listened to me about the lineup at least one of the 12 times I told them what they were supposed to be doing. This caused an issue at the wedding. Mom threw a fit. Mill saved the day and set her straight. Mom made it to rehearsal dinner, and after I was finished helping set up, she came up to me, grabbed my stomach and started screeching hello to the baby. I backed up and asked her to please not touch me without permission, and she was very upset. Mom refused to smile in any pictures she was in that her husband was not. My sister, she's 14 and the youngest, threw a fit over the food we served. My dad missed our grand entrance and first dance because he left to get her Subway. I told him it was a good thing I decided to not do a father-daughter dance because he would have missed that too. My whole family left early, which was fine because we were under the impression they all had early flights the next morning, which is why they wouldn't make it to brunch. Well, my mother lied to all of us and put my brother on an early morning flight so she and her husband could travel to NYC, we live upstate, and take a little honeymoon. We only found out because one of my bridesmaids and her family ran into her at the Statue of Liberty. My husband is pissed because we would have let my brother stay with us a bit longer, and because my mom lied to his mom's face about why they couldn't attend brunch. My mom has texted me, I haven't responded and don't plan to. All in all, though, absolutely none of this matters to me. I'm married to my best friend. I had my fairytale wedding, and now in about 4 months we'll have a new baby that I'm over the moon excited for. Several people asked for updates, so I thought I'd share the tea with you guys. Story 4. It's my cake day. Wish me happy cake day please. Story 5. I've lost you. I've lost you. And I don't understand why. It wasn't infidelity, we weren't arguing, we didn't fall out of love. You just didn't want this enough, and I'll never understand, because I wanted this so much. Now I ache for it. I'm grieving for everything I've lost. It's not just you, it's not just your smile, your touch, your scent, the way you looked at me. It's the future we'll never have. The life I'll never get to experience by your side. The children we'll never watch grow up. The laughs we never got to have, the places we never got to visit. The things we never got to see. None of this makes any sense to me right now. It's still too early, I'm still too raw. If I love you and you love me, why couldn't that be enough? And I feel so embarrassed. How can I tell people? Telling people will make it real, and I'm not ready for that yet. I thought you were my person. I thought we were going to spend our lives together. I thought you were it for me. I was done. You were everything I ever wanted, and after 34 years I had finally found you. I was done. I don't want to start again. You were my person. How am I supposed to tell people that you've left because you didn't want it enough? Your heart wasn't in it, even though mine was so full. There were no warning signs. We were on holiday 4 weeks ago, we had the best time, we laughed and took pictures every single day. You sent me flowers last week, just because. You told me how beautiful I was and how much you love me this week. And now you're gone and I'm sat here broken and shell-shocked, wondering why it wasn't enough. It was enough for me. It was everything. Story 6. I've dropped out of uni and don't know what to do. I have dropped out of uni despite being in it for 2 years. I never wanted to go but went because parents pressured me into it. In those 2 years I have never felt as bad as I did then. I struggle to understand the work and keep up with it. I barely scrape by with the grades I get and I just don't want to be there. I've dropped out but I've applied to a full-time job as a TA which I start soon but I am not sure how to bring it up to my parents. I know they are going to be very angry and disappointed in me but I'm not sure what their reaction is going to be. I know they are going to tell all my relative about it which makes it worse for me. Any help needed? Story 7. Friend said our fake relationship was real to him. This is gonna be long-winded and lengthy. Sorry, I just want to put this out somewhere. I 27F met a guy 5 years ago at work, let's call him Harry. Harry and I instantly clicked and we grew close very fast. Harry is, in no better terms, AF** boy. He changes girlfriends so fast that I have a hard time keeping up. But he is also very transparent with any of the girls he dates that he is not looking for anything long-term. One day Harry comes to my apartment crying saying that his grandma is dying. He was drunk and in his party clothes and he asked me if I can drive me to the hospital because he doesn't know if he can drive himself in his condition. I agreed and drove him to the hospital where I met his whole family. His grandmother had to stay in the hospital for a few days but thankfully she's okay, for now. I stayed with him the first night and went with him every night after work to visit his grandma. A week after his grandma came home, Harry came to visit me and asked me to be his girlfriend. I was really shocked at first because, 1. He never showed any indication that he liked me and, 2. Harry knows one of my secrets, I am aromantic and asexual. So asking me to be his girlfriend is really weird. He then clarified that he wants me to become his fake girlfriend, for his grandmother. Apparently, during our visits to the hospital, his grandma came to the conclusion that Harry finally gave up his partying and casual flings lifestyle as I am nothing like the girls he dates and I was the first one he introduced to the entire family. His grandmother was in a delicate situation and honestly her time is running out, and her dream was to see her only grandchild to settle down. His plan was to have me pretend to be his girlfriend to make his grandmother happy. It will be easy as we don't really have to change anything in our dynamic and by the looks of it, his family already loves me. We break up when his grandma is either well enough to take it or until the inevitable happens. I agreed because, he's my friend and also, this will help me as well. You see, no one in my family knows of my orientation and my family is pressing me to settle down as well. A fake relationship will keep them off my back for quite some time. So we pretended. Unfortunately his grandma died 6 months into our ruse. We couldn't break right up as his family was grieving and this would add to their heartache. We couldn't find a suitable time to break it off and eventually we didn't. Nothing changed in our relationship aside from doing some couple stuff in public like holding hands, cheek kisses or hugging. I didn't really mind that. My family is not bothering me to go on dates and he gets a break from the nagging to settle down. We're all good, until Harry came home really drunk one night and tried to kiss me. I stopped him of course, but didn't really think much of it since he was really drunk. We didn't talk about it, though I doubt that he even remembers what he did. He started partying again after that. I didn't think much of it. In hindsight I should have thought that something changed but at that time, I just thought that he's finally back to his old ways and that was fine with me. We're not really in a relationship so it doesn't matter if he goes back to sleeping around. Then out of the blue, a mutual friend of ours, Sheila, reached out to me and asked to meet me in private. She was a co-worker that I got along really well, we never had any issues so it really came as a surprise when she started crying and begging for my forgiveness. Turns out, Harry and Sheila slept together in a night of drunken partying and she got pregnant. She didn't know our relationship was fake so she thought that she not only slept with a committed man but also got pregnant by him. I tried to console her as much as I could but nothing could stop her crying. So I called up Harry, who also had no idea that she was pregnant as well. We broke up after that. His family was devastated and also mad at him for cheating on me. I wanted to tell them the truth, but both Harry and Sheila was not keen on that, since it would be a bigger problem if they found out that we were lying to them all this time. Sheila, even though she knows that Harry and I were never in a relationship, still feels guilty since she slept with Harry with the knowledge that we were together, which still makes her a homewrecker, so she deserves whatever judgment is coming. I talked to Harry's family and asked them to not be too harsh on both Harry and Sheila and not to blame them for our breakup. Unrelated stuff happened after that caused me to move to a different country, and although kept in touch, something changed in our friendship. 5 years later, I went back to our country for a family event and ran into Harry randomly while doing some groceries. He was holding a little girl who looked like the splitting image of him. It wasn't hard to make the connection that this was his child with Sheila. He invited me out to lunch to catch up and to reconnect. I accepted. We went to a nearby park and bought some lunch to eat while Shauna, the child, played in the park. We talked about what happened in our lives for a bit. Well, I talked. For once, Harry didn't have much to say until he blurted out, "It was real to me, you know." I stopped talking and asked him what he meant. He then spoke while looking at his daughter that to him, our fake relationship was real. He liked me and wanted to ask me out but didn't know how to because we were friends and he knew of my orientation. So when his grandma thought that we were together, he thought that it would be the perfect plan to be with me without me knowing that we were together. It also kept a lot of flies away from me and gave him a chance to make me fall in love with him. Only, I never did. He confessed that during the last months of our relationship he was getting impatient, desperate, since my feelings obviously haven't changed. So he went back to partying and drinking to bring the pain away. I was shocked, but he gave me no time to answer as he continued talking. He said that he never meant to sleep with Sheila, as he was very much in love with me at that time. He regretted it so much and spent a long time hating himself and Sheila, and partly Shauna, because he thinks I left because of them, even though he knows the actual reason why I left and it's not them. He said that he regretted what happened, but that was before. Now he's thankful for what happened because he got his family out of it. It took him a long time, but he fell in love with Sheila and Shauna, his little family. He said that seeing me today is like a sign. He showed me a ring and with the biggest smile on his face, said that he was proposing to Sheila and he'd like my blessing. I did give him my blessing, of course, even in my confused and shocked state. And he said that he'd send me a wedding invite and that I should get lunch with the two of them sometime. After that he picked up his daughter and parted ways. Now I am right here in my hotel room, trying to process what happened by writing it out on Reddit. I'm still surprised by his confession but also really happy for them. I may not feel romantic feelings whatsoever towards Harry, but I really treasure him as a friend. And seeing him happy makes me happy. Thank you for anyone who read this until the end. Sorry for any typos as I am typing this out in my phone. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.